And we begin with breaking news because the BBC has obtained an image of Anthony Williams in a barber shop in Peterborough the evening before the alleged train attack on Saturday. Well, he has been charged with 11 counts of attempted murder after a knife attack on a train in Cambridgeshire on Saturday evening and a separate incident in London hours before. Cambridgeshire police say they're investigating whether 3 knife-related incidents in Peterborough on Friday and Saturday were linked to an attack on a train in Huntingdon in which 11 people were stabbed. Well, the Cambridgeshire force has referred itself to the police watchdog. We'll get the latest live from our correspondent in a moment, but first, one of the passengers injured in Saturday's attack, Stephen Crean, has told the BBC how he tussled with the attacker as he slashed him on the head and hand after he confronted him to allow other passengers to hide in the buffet carriage. Have a listen.
I remember the doors. I had my back to the doors of the train, about 2 rows of the seats in. And then a girl come running through, the doors open, a lady come running through this. She said, "Run, there's a man with a knife, a big knife, but run." So I let her go past and a few others went past. There's quite a few women there, you know, they were heading that way, and there was the odd man or two here and there. But when I got further down, then I see him coming towards me. Like a guy with a rucksack, he had a big rucksack, a big rucksack, not like a baby one, it was quite a big rucksack, so he's obviously got something in there. But then he pulled this great big thing out of his rucksack. It was an overlarge blade thing, you know, I don't know what it was, to be honest with you. It didn't look far off one of those like biting swords, like, you know, it's probably a knife. On the picture, but it looked a big juicy knife, you know. And he started swinging it. He caught me, because I was in tussle in the arms with him, I remember that, and that's where my hand, like, I got, like, all the fingers are pretty, one really bad, and 4, like, I've got cuts through them, you know, sliced, so it probably plastic surgery on that, and then he caught me when I was ducking and diving.
Well, we'll play you more of that interview a little later in our programme. As you can see, Merlin Thomas from BBC Verify has joined me here in the studio, and you've been looking at the minutes, the hours of how this all unfolded on Saturday evening.
Exactly. We've been piecing together what happened on this train at 6:25 p.m. when it was meant to leave Doncaster to King's Cross, using eyewitness accounts, police statements and footage from inside the train itself. Now, at 7:29 p.m, the London North Eastern Railway train leaves Peterborough station. Now, the attacker got on coach J, and that dark figure there you're seeing is where the attacker reportedly, according to eyewitnesses, stabbed someone. Then we know that passengers moved down the train trying to flee away from the attacker and went to coach G, where there was a cafe bar. And this is where we know people then barricaded themselves inside that cafe bar, closing the door, locking themselves in and putting down the shutters. And that's the footage that you're seeing there, where we're seeing people from inside the cafe bar, and it appears that they're making the first kind of calls towards emergency services in an attempt to inform emergency services as to what's going on. Now, we've also heard from eyewitnesses that people are covered in blood, moving down the carriages as they go. And that's where we've seen the most of the footage there. We then know that emergency services were called, and that's when the train arrives at Huntingdon Station.
Now, that stop at Huntingdon Station, huge praise for the train driver diverting the train so it could stop there. Take me through those events.
Exactly. It was an unplanned stop. It was diverted. It made an emergency stop after on board the train there had also been an emergency alarm that had been pulled as well. Now we know that the train stopped and the emergency services arrived very quickly. It made that stop at 7:41 p.m. and the British Transport Police were also called then. And we know that passengers were also seen escaping. But what you're seeing there appears to be emergency services on the platform running towards the train where this incident unfolded. Other footage also shows the attacker jumping the station fence into the car park with a knife in hand. After that, we know that he's tasered and detained by police forces. And by 7:50 p.m, British Transport Police say 2 men were in custody. We know that one was later released, and police confirmed that that man wasn't involved. But we know that 11 people had been treated in hospital. And of course, now we know that a man has since been charged with counts of attempted murder. Well, Thomas, thanks for taking us through all of that footage and all of that detail.